Hi my friends. So you might have noticed in several of the past videos a bunch of fragrances that were not in my collection before, and that is because I went on a huge shopping spree on International Fragrance Day and I got 28 cheap fragrances from the discount stores. As you can see, this mess behind me. So I've slowly trickled them into videos, and I thought it would be cool to wrap everything up of this set of fragrances with just simply, would I keep it in my collection or not? So if you're into that sort of thing, hit the subscribe button. So basically this is a compilation of my entire haul, while simultaneously being a declutter. So let's see who's going to make it and which ones are on the chopping block. Let's get going. The first one is Roberto Cavalli Eau de Parfum. I think that this one will be staying in my collection. I got this one for $20 at TJ Maxx, and it's a very nice fragrance and I want to see more of it. This one I didn't actually end up talking about because I forgot that I got it. So now I'm talking about it, and I guess for good reason. I have CK Into You, and this is CK1 Summer, and I find them to be quite similar. So I'm going to have to smell them side by side and determine if they are close enough that I only need one, and if so, I will be taking this one back. Dolce & Gabbana The Only One. I will be keeping this one in my collection. I know a lot of people say that it's very similar to Black Opium, but I find it to be much better blended. It's a sweet caramel fragrance that I could actually see myself wearing. I don't like the synthetic coffee note in Black Opium, and so I have a Black Opium, just like a small roller. But I would like this one for those cool days where you want a warm, sweet fragrance. This one is Dolce & Gabbana Garden. A very deceptive name because you would think green, you would think floral, and this is actually a really lactonic coconut fragrance, and I will absolutely be keeping this one. I can't wait to wear this in the summer and late spring. It's very, very creamy, very yummy, and I love it. Like I can't, like this one I'm really, really excited about. I did an entire video dedicated to different DKNY fragrances. So this one is my DKNY, and as I said, this one kind of reminds me of a cross between Coco Chanel and Euphoria, and then make it a lighter version. And I found this to be the most interesting one out of all of the DKNY fragrances that I picked up, so this one I would keep. Next is DKNY Nolita Girl, and this is part of their City collection. I have one other from the City collection, and I honestly find them both to be generic, very light, and shampoo-y. So this one and Chelsea Girl will be leaving this haul. The last two that I picked up for that video is Be Delicious, the original, which is the green apple, and then we have Golden Delicious. I actually ended up, now that I'm a bit older, liking the Golden Delicious better. It's a little more toned down than this one tends to be, a little bright and sharp. I think that I would keep both of these. The reason that I would still keep this one is I do like aquatic fresh fragrances, and I find that this kind of falls in that category, but also I have a nostalgia factor, and for $15 it's a nice little reminder of, you know, when I was young and happy times with friends and stuff like that. So these two I would keep. Next, I did a video reviewing some Michael Kors fragrances. I have Sexy Blossom, Glam Jasmine, and Sexy Amber. Out of these three, I think that I would keep Glam Jasmine and Sexy Amber, my favorite being Sexy Amber. It's kind of a grown-up version of Amber Romance. from Victoria's Secret, and I wore that back in the day, and I would always buy that for my mom. I really like how that smelled. So this is more of a grown-up version, so I would keep that one. Glam Jasmine is just a simple light jasmine fragrance, and I would more so keep it on the basis of layering. It's quite a simple fragrance, but I don't always find that to be a bad thing. It's just very linear, so I would use it to amp up the jasmine in fragrances that I want to bring that out of. And the only one that I wasn't really wowed by is Sexy Blossom. I've heard that this is a dupe of something. If I can remember to look it up while editing this, I'll put it in the description. But I didn't care for this one. I found this one to be a little juvenile, pretty linear, and just it's fine. It's a clean floral fragrance. It's a fruity floral, but it's really generic, and I have a ton of things like it in my collection, so I don't really need to keep it. And unfortunately, I will have to exchange my Sexy Amber because the atomizer is broken, and it's literally just squirting out in like a straight stream, and so it's not spraying, it's literally like peeing, and it's impossible to put it on because then you'll just make like a blob of wet on the floor and on yourself. So yeah, I'm gonna exchange it, so technically I have to return that one as well. This one is Eternity Moment by Calvin Klein. I found this one to be a light floral, little soapy, kind of generic, but I actually find it a very comforting fragrance, although it's not groundbreaking. I want to keep it because I think that this would be a dumb reach, easy reach, you know, just for when you're hanging around the house and you just want a little smell good on. I like this one, and it kind of reminds me of Burberry Brit Sheer, just a little toned down, a little bit more mature, and for that reason, I'm going to keep it. I will most definitely be keeping Calvin Klein Woman. This is a clean laundry, strong, slightly floral and soapy fragrance. I love fresh fragrances. I love to smell clean. There's nothing better, and especially because I work in close proximity with people and I work in the beauty industry, you want to know that your hair person is clean and, you know, well kept. And so this makes me feel very fresh, even if I've been blow drying in the heat all day. I feel like this is gonna like make me smell so fresh. So this one I'm gonna keep. This one is Born Lovely by Sarah Jessica Parker. I find this one a good flanker for the original because I don't find them to be too similar. This one I feel is very serene. It's a little herbaceous, a little spa-like, which is similar to the original, but it does not have the lavender. And I found the original to be a little mature, if I'm honest. Not in a bad way, but I just didn't expect it. I hadn't heard anybody say that in reviews. And so I find this one to be just a little bit more youthful and a little bit more approachable. I still like them both, but I would keep this one because I honestly think that it still adds variety to my collection. These are the Ellis fragrances that I purchased just to try out the 360 line. I had seen them in discount stores many times before, but I hadn't tried any of them. So I wanted to give them a go, see what Ellis was all about. And so I got the original here in the middle in the white box. I got purple and I got coral. I absolutely hated the 360, the original, which is sad because as I was taking some photos of the boxes for TikTok videos, I got a little whiff of it in the air, and I think it would smell nice. I think it would honestly smell a little bit like Amazing Grace, which is also in this haul. But there is a note that I cannot get over. I believe it's the freesia. That gives it a pissy undertone, like a urine undertone, and that really nauseates me, and I'm very sensitive to when there's that kind of pee-like smell, and so for that reason I absolutely could not wear this one. And it's just very dated in my opinion. This fragrance is actually older than I am, so It's just not something I'm interested in any longer. And these other two, I just found them to be generic shampoo type fragrances. And so for this fact, I actually think that I would not keep a single one from the Perry Ellis 360 line. This one is Mazzoni. And I had never heard of any fragrances from Mazzoni before. This one I would keep simply because it's a bizarre fragrance. It smells like candy, like grape candy, or almost like grape cough syrup, which it's like, ew, why would you want to smell like that? But it's kind of fun, and I'm imagining layering this with like pink watermelon from Bath and Body Works, maybe on like a beach day, just something not so serious, because you don't always want to feel so serious. Sometimes you do want to smell like candy, and I'm not a sweet fragrance lover by any stretch of the imagination. So if I like something, I find this unique, and I really want to know what the dry down looks like on this one, because I don't imagine that it would stay grapey, but I like this, you know, it's a maybe it might go back eventually because I'm not a sweet person, but we're gonna give it a shot. This one is Alabaster by Banana Republic. This one I'm up in the air because it is a very light rose musk fragrance. So I think it's a gentle, easy reach fragrance. I think that it's nice that it's not sweet, that it's not a fruity floral, because we see that so many times. This is just a musky floral, and it's very gentle. So this one, I just feel like it might be too light where it'll dissipate in 20 minutes and you won't smell it. So what's the point of keeping it? Even if it's, you know, I mean, it's 17 bucks, so it's not like it's a load of money. But, you know, I want things that perform well if I'm gonna add them into my collection. So this one, I'm gonna say no for now, but that might change. I kind of have a similar sentiment to this one. This is She by Alfred Song. This one is, in theory, something that I would really like. It's an aquatic floral, it's watery, it's a little green, it's like a water lily fragrance, and so it's got kind of almost like an like a Japanese inspired fragrance tone to it. But there is, I have to test this one out a little bit because there's this note in the beginning that's screechy, and I'm just like, I don't know. If it goes away, I would really be into this. But there's a sharpness and like a synthetic cheapness to this that if it doesn't dissipate, I just would have to take it back. So this one's kind of a maybe. I'm not certain as that I talked about this one, but I did pick up Sophia by Sophia Vergara. This one is a maybe for me as well, because this one kind of smells a little similar to the DKNY, My NY. It's often compared to Coco Mademoiselle. I think it kind of smells like Coco Mademoiselle and Euphoria together. So I would have to see what the performance is like on this one, because it's almost like a berry, like sweeter version of Coco Mademoiselle, which is cool because I think that Mademoiselle can be a little bit dull, you know? It's a little, not that it's like too mature, but it just can be like a little like predictable. So I'm hoping that like the kind of berry note to this would give it a little bit more sensuality. So this one is a maybe. This is Ellen Tracy Bronze. This one was only $10, so I'll definitely be keeping it. And this one is like a powdery lemonade and kind of reminds me of the beach. So it's an interesting, unique fragrance that offers something different in my collection, and I think that this would be a really easy wear during spring and summer, particularly summer. It's just got something summery about it. Maybe I'm influenced by the fact that it's called bronze, and I think of like bronze, like you get a nice tan during summer, which like I'll be excited for because I am so ghostly right now, which is funny. I used to get so dark bronze as a kid. Like, I'm not even kidding. Bronze being like, you know, those little white kids that tan really orange, like the blonde, like orange little Oompa Loompa babies. That was me. I got so dark. It's so, you would not think that looking at me now, but it's weird. So yeah, anyways, summertime. This one should be cool. Another maybe leaning no. This is Kim Kardashian Gold, and as I said in the video, this smells to me like Euphoria and Angel Muse EDT, and then with kind of like a slightly Middle Eastern undertone to it. So it's kind of a hard one to describe, but I hope you guys can like follow my logic there. Not to say that it's a bad scent, but I just feel like all the things I listed, I have in my collection, and I could spray them together to get something similar, so I don't want redundancy, and there's a few fragrances in this haul that feel a little redundant. I picked up two from Talia Sodi. I was able to ask my husband about, you know, I said, hey, do you know a singer, a Mexican singer named Talia? And he said, yeah, it's Talia. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I had never heard of her before, but apparently she's incredibly famous in Mexico because she was in telenovelas. So that's her on the package there. And she came out with these fragrances, so I picked up two. Blooming Opal, which is a gardenia fragrance, and Diamond Petals. Interestingly enough, you wouldn't think it by looking at this package, the pink package, but Diamond Petals to me smells like DKNY Into You, so that one I'll be passing on. And then I'm a little undecided with this. I really like that it's a gardenia fragrance. I love gardenia, so I'd say maybe I'll keep this one and get rid of this one. Here I have this variety pack from Coach. This has 4 different fragrances, and I would say that I am going to return this one. The reason I say that is because I feel like the flankers are too similar to necessitate having all 4. I would just get the original EDP. I let them dry down, I smelled all of them, and between the Floral Blush, the EDP, and the EDT, I just really enjoyed the EDP the most. And last but not least, we have Amazing Grace. This is a nice musk fragrance, and it's a skin scent. It doesn't have tons of projection. It's nice and clean, and so I'm gonna keep this one because I like clean fragrances. Okay friends, so I would say that I am keeping about half and getting rid of about half, and that might change in the future. I'm just going to test some of them out. My camera's about to die, so I'm gonna cut this off short. Make sure you guys are subscribed, you're following me on Instagram and TikTok, and I'll see you in my next video. Let me know if you like these big hauls and showing you what made it and what didn't. Thanks guys, bye.